Hello and welcome to League of Legends 101. This is Sam from STMBTV and you are watching this on the STMBTV Ahon YouTube channel. What is League of Legends? League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena, or MOBA for short, a genre popularised by the Defence of the Ancients, which is more commonly referred to as Dota. Now, most people hear about LoL, hear about its bad community and horrible e-war against Hon. However, most players don't partake in this mass forum argument, and YouTube comment battles saying either Hon or LoL is better. But be warned, the community tolerance to noobs, or feeders as they're called in LoL, is zero. If you are the reason that the game was lost, then you better be prepared to accept the rage. Simply by the fact you're watching this video implies to me that you're either taking the necessary precautions to ensure you will enjoy the game before making an account or downloading it, or you're on your first steps out of noobhood. Controls. I'm going to make an educated guess and say you're using the default controls. You have 3 main attacks, Q, W and E, and an ultimate, R. You can unlock any of the first 3, but it's generally a good idea to look up a build order for which character you are using and just sort of roll with that until you get used to it. At level 6 you can unlock your ulti. This is a powerful move able to quickly change the fate of a battle, but usually with a very long cooldown. When you spawn you should select your first attack. For this example I will be playing Karthus, my main character. When I spawn I will choose to learn my Q ability. This is my miscellaneous attack. With most characters, however, your miscellaneous attack will probably be simply right-clicking on the target to attack it. Other than this fact, Karthus is a good analog for most heroes. My team is employing a standard 2-1-2 strategy, but I will explain that later on. Going into battle, I use my Q as often as I can to get kills on minions and scare off the enemy in my lane. Normally, you use your normal attack for farming gold off minions, which they will give to you if you get the killing blow on them, and your Q will be used to scare off the enemy in your lane. Please bear in mind, however, that not all heroes use their Q as their main damage dealing attack. Now I get to level 2. At level 2 you should either get your support or farming abilities. Do not put another point into your main damage spell. I'm going to take my W, but remember all characters have different build orders. The W for Karthus is a creep farming ability. It allows Karthus to surround himself in the souls of his enemies and do AoE. It's also used in teamfights. If we skip time a bit, let's say I get to level 6. At this point I will take Karthus' ultimate, Requiem, a powerful attack able to change the state of the battle quickly. By using it I damage everybody on the battle. For base damage plus my AP, subtract their magic resist. It's something like that. That may not be exactly how it works. You just have to really get a feel for how your ultimate will damage things. Karthus' ultimate is a little bit strange because it damages everyone. Most ultimates are in a very limited field, however, they all have the effect of changing the states of battles or picking up kills of people who are running away. There are a couple gimmick ultimates which I won't go over in this episode. Okay, hopefully I'm going to have some clips to go with this, but let's just say theoretically, some people are running away from our team. We've just been in this massive team fight. You may be seeing this, you may not. It's very hard to find the right clips because most of the LoL teams at this level are noobs. But let's say they're all running away. I use my ultimate. If they're all weak enough, they die. So that's a very powerful way to use your ultimate to try and pick up runaways or to actually initiate a fight by changing the state of the battle. Because if they're sort of thinking, oh yeah, we could probably take this, we're all a bit damaged, but you know, they're all full health, but you know, we're possibly 4 versus 5, or I'm pretty sure that we could take them on in a team fight. If, say, an Ash Arrow comes in, or a Karthus ultimate, for example, or most of the ultimates in the game, those are just some pretty obvious examples, then they're going to have lost quite a bit of health. At least one of them will have anyway. And then they're probably already all in the lane they're pushing in, which means they're committing to this quite a lot. So your attack is actually going to mean that they may not be strong enough, that they can't really back out now because they've committed to it, and they'll lose farm if they don't go for it. So it's a very easy way to defeat a team fight, but don't treat it as your sort of win all, be all that ends all. That's pretty much the normal structure of abilities. You have 3 abilities, one which you will use for dealing damage, one which you use for farming, and a more support-based ability. This is true for most characters, but they can be in varying orders. As I said earlier, not necessarily all being Q for farm like Karthus's. Karthus is a weird one because most of his abilities can be used to farm, but Q and W are his main farm abilities. Another thing you should bear in mind is that the towers will do enough damage to kill you most of the time. Try to avoid them. Finally, every hero has a passive ability. There isn't much I can tell you about this, just look on your character's passives and decide personally how you can use it best. Basic concepts. The concept of classic MOBA games is to push past 3 sets of towers and destroy the enemy base, whilst trying to defend your lane. There are 3 commonly used approaches to achieving victory. The first one is 2-1-2. I mentioned this earlier. With 3 lanes and teams of 5, this is the most common setup. The person in mid should be the person who needs their ultimate attack as early as possible, so characters like Karthus and Ashe are able to quickly change the state of a battle from anywhere on the map, gain an almost instant right to be the mid hero. The other 2 lanes will be fighting on the side with 2 people in each lane, until one gains the upper hand and they're able to push past the tower. These generally just involve a lot of farming off creeps and trying not to die. Another common setup is 2-1-1-J or 1-1-2-J. 2 lanes will contain a solo hero. The person who is soloing on the outside lane should generally be a tankier character, who's able to take high amounts of damage, like possibly Rammus. Meanwhile, the character who is not in lane, because of this, will level by killing the neutral creeps dotted around the jungle in the field of justice. This is called jungling, and it generally is as fast as solo laning. The final one is 0-5-0, a mid all-in. The point is to gain an advantage as early as possible and gain the first kill of the game bonus. Then return to the sides and go into a 2-1-2 or 2-1-1-J, 1-1-2-J style of play. These are the 3 most common strategies in order of popularity. That's all for episode 1. Like I said, hopefully I'll have got some clips to go in here, but that might take a while to get because of the way your games are based on your teammates. Thank you for watching. This has been Sam from STMB TV, and I hope you're taking your first steps to end your noobhood.